Remember, Denver smashed Portland by 26 in Game 5. They took a 3-2 lead. Portland coming back home, their backs to the wall, their season on the line. Question is, could Dame and CJ get going? Did they have an answer for the Joker and the anchorman inside? Weird thing about Dame. Dame came into last night's game averaging about 26 per. Almost any other player and any other team would be hyped about that. But you know, Damian Lillard was not. And the way he's been playing, Denver was pumped that they had held him to 26 per game. But you know how that works. You know how it works with Damian. You can only hold this guy down for so long. It's only a matter of time before it's Dame time, whether you like it or not. You know, kind of like father time, tax time, Dame time. It's coming. It's just a matter of when. It's coming for us all. And finally, it arrived last night in the second half. In the third quarter, it was time for Damian Lillard to go logo lizard. Hey, listen, those shots are only worth 3 points, but if we're being real, they're worth more, especially when they're chased by the opponent calling a timeout. That's what he wants. That's what Damian Lillard lives for. So he had 17 of his 32 in the third quarter. He was 2 for 2 from 30 feet for the game. An elimination game, of course, is the perfect time for Dame time. Point that I want to make, though, it was not only about Lillard. There was Rodney Hood coming off the bench, coming up huge with 25. He had it all working. Spot-up jumpers, getting to the bucket, Euro-stepping dudes into oblivion. He was unbelievable last night. He was not the only one. Zach Collins blocking one shot after another. How much better is that guy now? CJ doing what CJ does. Only problem, Denver kept doing what they do. They didn't roll over, and they kept coming. They kept coming like you knew they would, which is why this series is so good and why it's so tight and why we're going back for a Game 7 after Portland won. You think you saw a punch? I thought I saw an eye gouge. So what happened was the Joker was driving to the basket. Collins slides over to draw the charge. As Collins hit the deck, as anybody would when the Joker collided with him. And it took Collins into Denver's Will Barton a little bit. Seth Curry goes over to help his teammate up and gives Barton a little bit of a nudge in the process. And Barton wasn't having any of that. That Curry nudge was met with a Barton shove. Curry took a step back, probably surprised that somebody took any exception to him trying to help up his own teammate. Then both guys start walking towards each other, and then it's on. And by it's on, what I really mean is it's in. As in, Barton's finger went into Curry's eye. And at that point, it was only the fact that Curry was being held back by his teammates that prevented it from being an even bigger incident. You don't put your finger in another dude's eye and not expect there to be consequences or repercussions. 4 T's were handed out. But, to me, the finest moment of the incident came after the game. When Curry described the incident and the game and the series, he went instant legend with this quote. Seth Curry said, quote, "He waited for a few people to get in between us. And when a few people were in between us, he put his finger in my eye." You know what I'm saying? I can't allow people to put their fingers in my eye, end quote. That's the first part, and it's awesome. Like, he's calling out Barton for being a fake tough guy by waiting for people to get in between them before he started doing anything. And then he dropped this, quote, "I can't allow people to put their fingers in my eye." You're like, yo, Barton, yo, man, you know I have a strict no fingers in my eye policy. Hey, man, read the sign. I don't make the rules. I only enforce them. That wasn't even the best part. Quote, "That's real sassy." They got a few sassy dudes over there. Front runners. Guy's like, damn, man. Those dudes, what do I think of those dudes? They're sassy.
Sassy.
I'm not sure I've ever heard an NBAer. Hell, I'm not sure I've ever heard a professional athlete of any sort crack some other professional athlete for being, quote, sassy.
Sassy.
But my guy did it twice. Man, they got a few sassy dudes over there. And not just sassy dudes, sassy front runners.
Sassy.
What a legendary description for this series. Man, let me tell you about this series. You know what this series is? Sassy.
Sassy.
It's a hell of a lot of sass going back and forth between these two teams. And it takes a different breed of cat to go with an eye gouge. You know, a cat with a hell of a lot of sass.
Sass.
Seriously, when you look at these Nuggets, what's the first thing you think of when you look at the Nuggets? That crew is sassy as hell.
Sassy.
It's not a crew you want to mess with because they will go. They will go and they will sass.
Sass.
They'll give you the hands and the sass.
Sass.
These are the kind of guys to say, tell me how my sass tastes.
Tell me how my
Sass.
tastes.
And if it sounds like I love that quote, it's because I do. I'm not even sure why I love it so much. Maybe because, I don't know, it's so freaking sassy.
Sassy.
Another reason why Seth Curry does not get the respect or the credit that he deserves. I mean, sure, it can't be easy being both Steph's brother and Della's son, but damn, my man carries himself. And he deserves more respect than he's getting, considering what he does on both ends of the floor and what he means to the Blazers. And most of all, what he means to the rest of the planet. When he brings the sass the way he does.
Sass.
Because sassy is an incredible word.
Sassy.
It's an amazing quote. So why don't you all get your sass in gear? Because we got a Game 7. I guess what I'm trying to say to you is gas, grass, and sass. No one rides for free.
Tell me how my
Sass.
tastes.
And if you're not down, either with a Game 7 or this take, you know what that is? That's you having it all sass backwards.
Sass.
Because dudes are going to be looking to open up a can of whoop sass.
Sass.
A can of whoop sass.
Sass.
Damn, this take got sassy.
Sassy.
Bunch of sassy dudes over there.